5 a.m. here at Camp Massateter, and if anything, the humidity has actually gotten worse. At least the mosquitoes aren't out in full force this morning. Blondie has been on a tear this morning, so we are actually 10 minutes early for once. Trying to pick out gator eyes.
It is a very sleep-deprived and exciting Taters Tuesday. It was about 9:30 by the time I got in the tent, started eating dinner last night. I think it was about 10:30 by the time I actually started to fall asleep. And we were up at 4 and running. We were excited to get out early. The morning is always the nicest time to paddle. And we were excited to try a little bit of paddling in dark before the sun came up, now that we're out of the tows and things.
No, we're not. There's gonna be ones right around the corner.
We've been looking for gators, trying to peek out their eyes. We have about 34 miles out to the Gulf. And from there, it is another couple miles of open water paddle over to Burns Point Campground, which is the official end point for this route. So we are kind of thinking we'll make that all today, although if the open water conditions are not good at the end of the day, too big of waves, wind, anything like that, we would just hold and do that part first thing tomorrow morning.
Maybe. If you say there's a good chance you might die, but there's a cold shower, versus sit out here and swelter, I might risk that. Everybody dies sometimes, Jen. We might be a little more sad about finishing here, except for the heat and humidity last night was pretty brutal. Not to mention the mosquitoes. So it's like, yeah, okay, finishing. That's okay.
So I am really sad about getting to the Gulf here. Yesterday was just so amazing and so special compared to the last couple of weeks. Really enjoyed that and wish I had more time to just explore this area. There's so many little waterways around here, little bayous and connectors between the bigger channels.
Do have an unfortunate amount of mosquitoes who are still out here. And ants. There are ants in the boat this morning.
Oh, so pretty. Oh, that's amazing.
We actually have a decent chance of rain this morning per the forecast. So this is Yellow Bayou / 6 Mile Lake. The map labels it as both things here. We're actually going to be at the base of that, and that connects into the canal that takes us over to Hog Bayou. We have a route that comes off the main channel that cuts through this island on a small canal that we're following. So one of the things Jen often gets after me for is she thinks I'm too negative. I would say I'm too realistic, and she's too like, ah, la, 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 look at that cloud. So we have Tater's seal of disapproval, which is now on her water bottle and all that, but she said I was embracing negativity too much. So I decided the only thing to do was get a Tater's seal of approval made.
It's really cute.
She actually disapproved about it. She's like, you're not doing another vibrant thing. And then she saw it, and I could see her face like she wanted to disapprove. And then she saw the little beaver and the little turtle, and they're like little thumbs up. And she was like, oh.
I like the idea of just having my water bottle up, and when my students come and talk to me, I can just turn it depending, which side is appropriate for what they're saying.
I've been tempted to get a third one, which it would be Taters is tired of your scumbag, and the cute little turtle would have like a baseball bat with blood coming off of it. The otter would have a shotgun. Maybe they'd have sunglasses. She disapproves of that too, but what's she gonna do?
The disapproval one is enough, Matt. You're
just
good at showing us all where the line is.
Through example. I exist to be a bad example. Blondie, nobody ever knew how far it was till somebody tap danced over the line. Okay, this is our side channel, which hopefully goes through. We're always a little wary just because of on the main Mississippi, the back channels have all been so low. It doesn't seem like we're still getting low water issues here. I think we might be far enough out towards the delta that tidal forces kind of counteract that. That's more like it.
Here's one of the types of flowers that we started seeing a lot yesterday.
So this is 6 Mile Lake. So we could have come down this instead of our little canal, but who wants to do big open water? This is looking more like a proper swamp. I keep hoping that the promised rain was going to materialize, but all we seem to get is a bloody headwind. We're here, gators. Oh. Blondie, stick your like toes in. Oh! It's happening! Oh. So I'm assuming that's the Intercoastal Waterway.
It runs for about 3,000 miles from Texas to New Jersey. And we've heard of people using it to connect their Mississippi trip to other parts of the country. Now that Matt found out about it, he wants to see if he can jet ski it up to New Jersey and start a trail from there.
North Country Trail. That is totally unfair. I keep seeing rain clouds off in the distance and wishing it was raining on me. Finally! Yeah, exactly. Should probably worry about getting some things wet, but eh. Also, this is Hog Bayou, so we're 11 miles from the Gulf here, and this is the part we've been looking forward to that's supposed to be small and intimate. Four more miles to the Gulf. On the plus side, we've got a breeze, so we're not cooking. On the downside, that breeze is once again going into our face, so it's just kind of been slow for the last 7 miles or so. The places those things get.
You okay there? Do you think he needs help? That thing is huge.
That's what she said. I don't know, Jen, that thing looks like it's getting ready to mess you up.
He looks like he's recovering. I'm so glad we helped him. Oh, so cool.
He also looks pretty tired, so I can relate to him. You and me both, grasshopper bro. Taters is now taken to kidnapping grasshoppers.
It's like a little cat.
But it's okay, it makes her happy. We apparently now have pet grasshoppers. And Jen just tried to get me eaten by an alligator. She was playing with her grasshoppers and we just ran into him, spooked a fish and then spooked him. And that's how I died for Jen's grasshoppers. Taters is still not sick of the grasshoppers. She is currently trying to return the grasshoppers to the shore. And there we go. Okay, Jen, now we turn around and paddle back to Itasca, right?
And over 2,000 miles later, we've got open water ahead of us. For the last 2 months, whenever anyone has asked us where we're going, we've told them we are going to the Gulf. We are now at the Gulf. And so now we are going to Burns Point Campground, which is 2 miles away. I wasn't quite sure what to expect on this part. I think ocean, waves.
Southern California first.
And it's even been kind of windy this afternoon, so I was expecting there'd be some waves. Nothing. Just big flat water as far as you can see.
So shallow we can walk. 5:50 and we have arrived. So those waves were tossing us around a little bit, especially with the wind blowing in, but no big deal. So this is Burns Point. There is a campground here. They have showers, which we were looking forward to, and we have a ride out of here tomorrow. And we basically made our more aggressive goal to get here on the 8th, is it? So the person that was coming to pick us up, we actually scheduled them on the 9th because that way if we couldn't make it, if there were too many waves, something like that. And as it turns out, we don't need that.
We're a bit sad that the river came to an end, especially after these last couple days, which have really been a high point with the changing vegetation and all the gators and the big grasshoppers today. There's been a lot of other high points, of course, some of the days of the headwaters with all the animals. That day where we had to navigate all the logjam obstacles and Matt was being super extra duper funny. Pool 19 party people, that was really cool. Going through Lock 19, a couple of the other locks, the confluence with the Missouri, the big storm near Cape Girardeau, are a few that come to mind. But the big thing with any trip like this is seeing how things change along the way, all the way from the headwaters on June 5th, where it was basically a little creek. We had to walk our boat along, try not to hit any rocks, all the way out to the Gulf. We're also really happy that Matt and I were finally able to travel all the way across the country together. For the past few years with the thru hikes, my 10 weeks off that I get for summer isn't quite enough to do the whole thing end to end.
Which has actually worked out because here's the thing. As soon as she leaves, nachos, endless nachos. Beer and nachos, nachos without beer. And it's great. This time, how many nachos have I gotten in like 2,000 miles? Just saying.
An impressive amount considering we only went into town 4 times.
Really, it's okay. CDT. Nachos for days.
Anyway, those thru hikes I've only gotten to do a portion of with him, and it's really special that we could share the whole entire experience together, source to sea. This campground is really low key and nice and calm and quiet, at least on a Tuesday night. It does have showers, so we are feeling refreshed, and we got a nice spot off to ourselves right on the water. Home sweet home for the night.